Excess Chef, who's the worst good boy Malome YouTube, and welcome back to Malome's mic.
It's been a while.
Yeah. Guys, obviously I was gone due to unforeseen circumstances. But the boys back now. Had to deal with some live matters, so I took a break from social media. When I'm in a bit of a binger.
It's a sabbatical. I know,
sabbatical.
I know, but usually you use that term with when you work for like a long time and you're like, oh, man,
yeah,
give you a break to go chill.
Ish.
That's kind of what you needed.
Yeah, I needed a break.
There was a lot going on.
There's a lot going on. Anyway, today we have got a special guest. She is not in frame. Today we're going to be talking about something really cool.
Yeah.
And we've done this so many times. We're speaking about growing up with an African mom, growing up black, how it feels like to be raised by a mother and all these things. Now we actually have a mother. We have my mother.
Yeah, it's big. And we talked about it the last time. Like, you know what? We should have this conversation.
Yeah.
Because I feel like we can get so much from it.
Yeah. Mama, how are you?
I'm good, and you?
I'm good.
Welcome to Malomes.
Welcome. Yes. So we've got moms out of frame because I don't want you guys to be seeing how but my mother could be Pearl Tusi. So you guys can't see her.
Next thing,
no. Yeah. So you guys can hear, if you guys are on YouTube, you can hear her too. If you're on the mic, it doesn't matter, you can't see us. Mm-hmm. But yeah, Mama, how are you?
I'm good, and you?
I'm good. I hear you've got 3 beautiful children.
Yes, 2 boys and a daughter.
Wow. I hear one of them is an engineer. The other one is an economist.
Engineer, doing YouTube.
Versatile.
Then you've got a daughter, she's studying to become an engineer.
Exactly.
Wow. That is impressive.
So you're raising engineers and economists.
3 out of 3.
Indeed, yeah.
That's crazy. Do you know say anything about yourself? Or no private information?
You want to introduce yourself?
What's your favorite color? What do you like? What's your favorite color?
Oh, no. I'm a very shy person. Very reserved and a very calm person, but I can associate with any other person, and I like being a mother. The topic for today is about motherhood. How do I raise my kids?
Yeah,
that's what I like most.
Yeah, so we're gonna actually start from the beginning, like the different phases in life. So like how I was raising like a 2-year-old, 10-year-old, 12-year-old, high school student, university student. And you can obviously use us as references if you want. First question, why am I your favorite child?
You know what? No, guess what? I don't have any favorite child.
Okay, is that true? Is that true?
All my children are...
Is it true? Is it true?
That's not true. That's not true. They normally say that the middle child is the most favorite one.
Makes sense.
But with me, I like and love all my children. For me, they are equals.
Oh, I can safely say I'm my mother's favorite.
Yeah,
I'm the middle child.
Yeah.
Oh,
you're very nice. People.
I'm obviously not. So how you start? So like when you were raising, let's say when I first came home from the hospital,
because you're the first one.
Yeah, when I first came home straight from the hospital, how was it like when you're like, okay, cool, I'm ready to have a child, and you saw me?
It was nerve-wracking. I mean, being youth at that time, I think I was 24 years old. And thinking about raising a child, and I was like, I don't even know where to start. But with the support that I had, my mom and all my in-laws, I was able to do it. But I must say that you get excited, but at the same time,
the excitement goes away.
Yes, mixed feelings there and there.
And which stage of your life were you in at that point? What were you doing? When you found out?
At that point, I was just working. I was in my second job. Of course, I started very small. But I always understood that I had to start somewhere so that I can raise my children. Unlike having, those positions where, they are so demanding and you are not able to take care of your family or your children. But with the type of job that I was doing, at least I was able to raise my kids. I was 24 years old.
Yeah. So when did you know? Because we've got a lot of young listeners, and they always want to know when it's time for motherhood. Yeah. So when did you know it was time for you to be a mom? When did you feel ready? Was it when you saw the love of your life in his eyes and you said,
God's plan? There's something called God's plan. So I think when my lobola was paid, I wasn't even aware that I was pregnant. So it turned out 2-3 months later that I got to know that I was pregnant. So there was nothing about planning, really. It was just God's plan, and really I thank God for that. Yeah.
It's beautiful.
That's good. We're starting off light. We've got some personal questions that we want to ask you. We're starting off light. The next question is very chill. What was your experience like raising a toddler?
Having to go to work, raising a toddler, but I had a very good, we must not even underestimate the support that we get from our helpers. I had a very good helper. So, she was able to take care of my toddler. And at that time, I was able to go to work, and it was quite easy because I was excited. I was a mom, and I wanted to do everything for my firstborn. Then that's you, Thato. Yeah. Most of the things I got to experience through you. Obviously, as a mother, most of the things you experience through your first child.
Yeah. And what were your biggest fears at the time? Because it was new, so. You might have had things that you were worried about, you would think about. What was your biggest fears at those times?
Well, having a first child, you don't get to groove anymore.
I don't want children.
So, you start to become a real mother and a woman of the house. You take care of your children and you forget about all the good times out there. All what you do is to focus on raising your child. So, raising toddlers as well. Toddlers can be very, very. I
wish you guys saw the way she looked at me when she was saying very, very.
Yeah, I remember when Thato was a toddler. He even has a scar on the hand. That scar. You see that scar? So he was trying to reach out on my coffee, and I was on my way to work. The skin was out. I could see everything inside. We had to run to the hospital. If I had to run, with my towel on because I was out of the shower, I could have done that. So, toddlers can be very problematic as well.
I think that goes across, especially when it's boys. Yeah. Boys are naughty. I have a nephew, and you can't stop him. He's everywhere. Yeah. And even when I was a child, I was everywhere. I even almost lost a finger. No one's doing all these things.
Okay, I think it's time for the hit questions. Why did you beat me? Why do African parents resort to violence?
Yeah, but look how good you turned out.
No. Like, why did you like spank? And nowadays, that's why I call it lawlessness. Children nowadays, they don't listen to parents because we can't even punish children. In the past, you knew that, if a child does something that's wrong, that they had to get a little bit of some punishment. And that from that punishment, scary. They will never ever forget, and they will never ever repeat the same mistakes that they've done.
Like so
nowadays, you just talk. Talk is cheap. Talk. They don't even listen.
Yes.
So, yes, unfortunately, nowadays we can't. But in the past, it really made such a big difference.
And I'm not going to lie.
It was a serious thing.
Personally, right? I think to myself, and I think if my mother didn't have a bit of a hard hand here and there when I wasn't listening, I don't think I would have understood the consequences of actions.
That's true.
Because when I do something, right, I need to think about what could go wrong and how badly can I.
It's like that pain is associated with the memory. So like if you're now, I used to always break plates and stuff.
Yeah, in today's language, they call it consequence management.
Consequence management. My mom's highly educated.
Corporate talk.
My mom is highly educated.
But a part of me feels like a little bit of, I'm not saying like go run after your kids and hit them with a stick, but a little bit of like, punishment is necessary.
You need to be firm. You need to be firm, especially with children like me and Lebo and Shibu.
Very stubborn.
You need to be very firm.
A lot hasn't changed.
No. So how did it feel now when your children went from primary school to high school? Like, was it a big thing for you? Or was it a bigger change from high school to university?
We call those milestones, when your child moves from primary to high school or secondary school. We used to call secondary school high school. You feel like, what, I've made it, but you don't know what's still, up for you. There are so many other challenges ahead, but you feel proud as a mother and as parents to say that at least you've reached that milestone and you are proud of your children.
Yeah. What is the most challenging thing?
Yeah.
From high school to university, or do primary school to high school?
I can do high school to university.
Yeah, that one is fresh.
But okay, I'll ask the question after that.
Yeah. Yeah, because I mean, I was the first person that went from high school to university. Then Lebo followed 3 years later, and now my sister just went to university.
Yeah.
It's quite an experience, and especially let me talk about my daughter for now because it's still fresh. You spend time with your kids, you don't know what's coming, and they get to university, and as parents we are very protective. We love our children. You don't know what's out there for them, and the first worry that comes, it's like what's going to happen to them when you are no longer there, because you are no longer able to take control of their lives. I mean, they are free, they are independent, and you have to let go. So one of my big worries was that, if I let go, what will happen? But I guess with the discipline that you give to your children when they are still young, you then hope that, they will take that, and move with that when they get to being independent, going to varsity. So, and also the fear of being alone. I mean, as a family, when you have your children around, you are able to watch TV together. Of course, teenagers, you can't, because they lock themselves in their room and, start to fiddle with their phones and so on. So, but that fear is there to say, am I now on my own? What's going to happen?
Damn.
And, your life changes.
Yeah, because right now it's just you and Papa where you guys there.
Yeah, no.
So I'm sure it's actually scary because you're used to obviously shouting at me.
No, but I think children prepares, they do prepare you. Especially when they are still in high school, going into varsity, because they like to be independent. They spend most of their times in their bedrooms. So you'll always be with your partner or your spouse. And when they get to varsity, you are already used to that, mode of operating.
Yeah. And you spoke about teenagers. I wanted to find out, because obviously we just went through it and we didn't even notice that we changed growing up from being a child to being a teenager. How has that changed? Like, how do you as a parent experience a child turning into a teenager? Is it the same?
Especially with like hormones and everything.
Yeah, because now we think we are bigger now.
Yeah.
We have a little bit of an attitude.
We're seeing that different sex in a different way.
It's quite it's challenging. You can't talk any sense to your children once they are teenagers and once they start working. Because you can't even call them to order. I mean, even when you see that the room in which they are in, it's dirty, and you start to say, hey, clean up. And everybody gets it. So they don't even listen to what you are saying. But like I've said before, the teachings that you instill in your children when they are still young, those are the things that they take them, they take with them. But it's very difficult to control, I would say, an adult now.
I wanted to ask, still on the teenager one.
Yeah.
How do you, because like when you're still young, it's easy to discipline because you can either take away their phone or stop them from doing something like watching TV or whatever. And then when they become teenagers, it's a very delicate time where you get experience and exposure to so many things, including hormones, feelings, things like sex as well. How did you ever have that conversation, those kind of conversations?
Yeah. No, I do. But remember, it takes two to tango. So if your child is so reserved to an extent that he or she can talk about sex, so you can't. But obviously, as a mother, you'll try to probe and check, if maybe the child is involved in those things. But I would say that not with Thato though, but with Lebo and Shibu.
I didn't get any talks.
Yeah, we had a lot of talks. Tango. Yeah, it takes two to tango. So yeah, we do have, and me as a mother, I'm very open, and it's always good to know what's happening in your child's life, sexually, emotionally, and otherwise. So yeah, those talks are always there, and guidance and advice there and there. And you also get to, you also learn from your children as well.
Yeah.
When did you see that I first started liking girls? Like, when did you see? Like, what signs did you see?
With Thato, it was difficult.
You guys thought I was gay growing up, ne?
Yeah. Yeah.
You've always been you wanted to ask that question.
No, he was always in the company of girls, you know.
Yeah.
Girls will be surrounding him and he'll be the most talkative one. And,
Emily had cornrows. There's a picture
yeah,
here.
we did ask him at one stage to say, but don't you, we think that maybe you are gay or something. But I guess it's because of his character, you know.
Yes, very
it's
bubbly.
easy, bubbly, easy for him to attract, you know, especially girls. You know, girls who like talking, you know, you like to laugh and so on.
It's working now. Those skills.
Yeah, so yeah.
Through.
Yeah,
But those conversations are important. Would you say like
they are.
like new mothers need to prepare themselves to talk to their kids openly and give them space to express themselves, their emotions? Because I feel like so many kids now are going through like things like depression and they feel like they don't have support, emotional support. So do you think that's like, how do you think they like parents should approach
Yeah. What's the best strategy that you've seen? I think you've probably tried
those
a lot of things.
conversations?
Yeah, you see, kids nowadays, they are demanding, I must say. And depression nowadays, it's, I don't know. But sometimes kids, they do keep things unto themselves. And you only realize late in their, you know, stage of depression that this, you know, kid is suffering from something. You'll just start to see the actions and so on. But if they don't talk, you know, there's nothing you can do as a parent. It's not easy to detect all these things, you know.
Yeah.
Especially like I told you, that kids will lock themselves in the rooms and start to be on their phones, on their computers. So you'll be thinking that your child is doing well, only to find that no, he or she's not doing well. So it's only when the child opens up when you can then start to engage and see where the problem is and try to resolve together. Yeah.
I think a good thing also to do, like I saw with you guys, is that like you create the space to have a conversation, even with small things. So like, let's say you see your child is like maybe 11, 12 and talking about girls. Speak to them about girls. Ask them to have a boyfriend. Make it okay. Make those types of conversations okay.
Laugh a little.
Yeah, laugh a bit. So now when it comes to the hectic stuff, they can openly already come to you. So there's that safe space. Yeah.
No, that is very important. Like that space, it makes it easier for you to cope with a lot of things. Because in life, you don't want to grow up. Like I see it with like us growing up. It's very hard for us to have certain conversations with people that we keep around us. Like it's
even friends.
because you never had the opportunity to open up. So later on in life, you think to yourself, I can't because I feel like somebody's either going to judge me or somebody's going to make me feel a certain way. And those are things we didn't learn growing up.
Yeah, can I just say something there? Because, you know, with our, you need to check the generations, right?
Yeah, I was about to say that.
With our generations, we coming from an era where our parents couldn't talk to us. So most of the parents, they don't really know how to do things. You know, we can't even see when things goes wrong because of how we were raised. So in the past, you wouldn't even talk to your parents about certain things, and you think it's right to do that. And when you look at today's generation, you need to open up, you need to establish a relationship with your child, you need to communicate consistently so that you know what's going on in their life. So many at times parents do not know how. And that's why, kids of today will say, but I don't feel loved. My parents don't talk to me. But it's because we were not taught. We don't know how to do it. But I guess, parents are getting there lately.
Change management is working.
Change
management.
Yeah, no, definitely.
Yeah. Then now two of your children are actually working. Wow. One is a full-time digital entrepreneur.
Yeah.
I think he's on TV.
Sometimes.
YouTuber. Malomes make a podcast. Billboards, adverts. Actually, let me stop. And the other one is working. How is it like having children that are actually working and are part of the working class? Or one is Lepo's working. Am I working? I'm playing.
You're working.
I feel like I'm playing.
You're working right now. What do you mean?
No, it feels really good because money-wise,
Yo, can I
budget-wise.
before you start, can I tell you what she did to me yesterday?
What?
So yesterday, my mom wanted to cut her hair. She got a nice haircut. She's looking beautiful. Now, we go to the mall. We get out. She goes, oh, it's a new shop. Let's go check. So now she starts shopping. Even the ladies, they're like, hey, this lady's shopping. They got her trolley.
Yeah.
Gets her trolley. Now she's like, what do you guys want? I'm like, oh, I need like 4 towels.
Yeah.
Throw 4 towels inside. Now she's shopping. I'm thinking, oh, damn, mom so came through to town to buy us some stuff for the house.
Yeah.
It's going to be nice. Now we get to the till. She goes, yeah.
Pay.
You don't look
I've been paying my whole life.
What? I was so like confused. There's even a point where I tried to walk away, like run away. And she's like, hey. Then I'm like,
yeah, you have to pay. Yeah,
the fun is over.
It's learning how to be responsible. I mean, even if you look at the things that we bought, and deliberately I've done that because I mean we're buying towels. It's for them. It's not for me. I'm not going to use them.
Yeah.
I've realized that we get to spoil our children so much that they are not able to become independent, and it can be tough. You know, just imagine if your parents are no more. What are we going to do if we are used to, you know, getting it all for free? So you need to start to be responsible by, you know, little things there and there. Yeah.
And wait, actually speaking about kids and money, how prepared do you have to be? How expensive is a child?
yeah.
Yes, yes. Kids can be very, very expensive. You take them, you know, from primary, you know, to high school, from high school. And by the way, the high school fees are very expensive than tertiary fees, yeah?
Yeah.
And from high school to tertiary, you know, there's a point where Barakas Tswana utlatsama mo thoko di tlhako. Osnale tlhako se se one just taking
What does
care
that
of
mean
your
for the international
means,
viewers?
No, it means, you know, you'll spend all your money on your children to an extent that you can't even buy yourself even small things.
Yeah.
So, but if you are to really check the reason why we're working and living for our kids, that's all what we're doing. And, you know, you don't want kids to be talking about, hey, you know, during the apartheid era, you know, we're suffering, we couldn't do this and that. If you look at, you know...
You can use me as an example.
No. I just want to say, and what is important for me is to give my children, you know, a way to start life, you know.
Yeah.
If you look at where we're coming from, we had to start from start.
Yeah.
I had to buy my own bed, but it was such a struggle. But nowadays we do, as blacks, we understand that, you know, it's good to have a base for your children. Not that you need to spoil them, but at least give them a living to such an extent that they can do any other thing and focus on, you know, wider
stuff.
objectives.
YouTube stuff.
So you have to be financially prepared.
You have to be, not really that you have to be prepared. Like I told you that when you have kids, sometimes it's God's plan.
Yeah.
So you don't even know. So the planning is not there. But once the kids are there, you need to make sure that you rearrange your things financially, so that you know you are working for them and you give them a better life compared to some of us where we had to
to start from.
That's beautiful. It's nice that they're making our lives easier.
Yeah.
So we should not start where they started, because what's the point? Then there's no progression in life. Now we can try create generational wealth. And then the next generation.
Exactly.
And now you need to push the bar up.
Exactly.
Yeah. I need to be doing things that she was doing at 40, at 30.
Yeah.
Do you get what I'm saying? Because of that boost.
They've given you that leeway to do that.
It's the least that we can do. Aren't you scared of your kids doing like drugs and stuff like that?
I am.
I'm sure that's
Always.
the biggest. Always, even now.
I am. And Thato knows, I always ask to say, but you guys are just, you know, I just hope that you are not on drugs. And by the way, drugs doesn't have to go with any age. You know, you can get a child and, you know, you'll think that they are doing well, you raise them well, all of a sudden, boom. Especially in this area where you are in, you know, I'm very, very, very...
This entertainment.
Or the industry, man. Yeah, doing cocaine.
That look.
Yeah, there's a lot of drugs in this industry. Cocaine.
So that fear never
that
leaves.
Fear is, you know, is there every day, and I pray, you know, I always pray to God that, you know, God, let my children, they must not be there. They must not do all those nasty things.
And then alcohol?
Alcohol, I don't mind.
Yeah, my parents are
really.
When do you think it's okay to let them explore?
18.
As far as alcohol is
18,
concerned.
19, 18, and it doesn't mean that they have to be drunkards, by the way, 18, you can introduce them to champagne, and so on.
Soft.
The soft ones, But drinking drugs, it's a no-no. It's a no-no, really.
Yeah. Even like drinking too much is also
Excessive, yes.
Yeah, it's also like.
But I mean, like when we're still young and we still like in high school and you're a teenager, I won't lie, like we were already experimenting with alcohol.
Yeah.
We were only like curious. What
age do you think I started drinking?
You? Mm-hmm. Oh, well, you must tell us.
No, I'm going to tell you now, but what age did you think?
I think 18.
Nah, I think it was grade 9. I think it was 15.
Woo!
That's funny. Me too.
Yeah.
I hope my mother's not watching this.
Oh, okay.
They
still
exposed me.
do it, no?
But I didn't. So they would always drink, but I would always be too scared because my dad's very strict.
Yeah.
So I'd be like, yo, if you can smell this thing in my mouth, I'm gonna. So I always have like one, then I'll go brush my teeth, and then I was like, no, I can't get drunk. I won't do this. I'll watch you guys. I'll do it from here because of how strict they were.
Yeah.
That's the discipline that I'm talking about, and making sure that your kids, you give them that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I was basically just tasting. I wasn't drinking actually. I only started drinking in university or high school, matric. Because all my friends were 18.
And when did you start going out?
To like the club.
Wherever you're going out to.
I think I was in matric.
Yeah.
Yeah. I used to say I'm going to go sleep at Aiden's house. But yeah, I was always honest with them. So like, I'd literally say I'm going out. They were Aiden and Manny.
Yeah.
And they say, okay, cool, be safe. Because we were going to like matric dance after parties, which were at clubs. So I wasn't going to like clubs. It was like school events.
So Mama, what is the right amount of strictness?
Yes.
When they're in the teenage years, the chubida jaiva, when you go jaivi.
Yeah, you see, it depends on the parents. We've been very strict.
Yo.
They know.
Yo. It's so weird.
He's very strict.
Yo, because I think they were very straight, but now they're so chilled. So it's so confusing.
No. Because now you adults, yes, you adults, you have to take your own, you need to be responsible. But I've always been strict, and being strict doesn't mean that you want to deny, your certain things for your children.
Yeah.
You are just being protective and teaching them that, the world out there is very wild.
Yeah.
So
we were very strict, and we believed in education.
Yeah, you guys believe in education, yeah. Because my dad went to Harvard.
Yeah?
He went to Harvard. My mom has an LLB degree.
Was a little a lot of pressure. Like.
A lot of pressure. That's why they made us engineers and economists.
Yeah. No, we didn't make you. You chose to do engineering.
Did you choose?
Let's talk about that.
No, maybe I was not part of the discussions then. Yeah.
But you believe in like the freedom for them to choose what they want to do.
I believe that children must just choose what they want to be, because they will have passion. And look at Thato now, the engineering degree. I mean, we allowed. Can I say we allowed? But yes, he is now doing the YouTube stuff and all these things. Yeah. But you need to have a passion to. Are you
saying you're allowed for me to do YouTube?
That children must choose what they want to do. Yeah.
Also, like, I think the reason why I am the way I am, like, very entrepreneurial, is because literally my whole high school career, my mom would always say, Thato, you do not want to work in a 9 to 5.
Yes.
Whatever ideas you have now, start thinking of them now and like just practice making them come to life.
I did.
That is
Good morning,
beautiful.
sir.
Yeah.
I always said to Thato, there's something called good morning, sir. You don't want that. I mean, looking at where we're coming from, we've been working and working and working and working for companies, big companies, etc., government, etc. But you think that if you take all those ideas, into your own company and try to generate some revenue out, there and there, you'll be able to do it. I mean, if you look at the system, the school system now, people have just been taught how to work for someone else.
Yeah.
But I've always been saying to Thato, you need to be independent no matter what it takes. It can be very difficult, it can be challenging, But if you have those ideas and you have that education, then you can apply it and be on your own. And it's very easy. It's just that how we are taught. We are taught to actually we are prepared to work for a company or for an organization.
I think at the time it was more of a thing. No access to that much information. Like you couldn't teach yourself things like you can now. Now there's so much freedom for kids to learn on their own, to find out what they're good at, get new skills.
Okay, what's one thing that surprised you the most about being a parent? Like one thing you didn't expect at all, even your mother didn't even prepare you for it? Nothing.
No surprises.
No surprises.
I
mean, maybe I don't understand the question.
I don't know. Don't even know how to pick it up.
Like any surprises, like in a sense of maybe like you get worried about your child. You're like, I sure, and then surprisingly they can manage.
No. Maybe with girls, with boys, I know I'm not, but with girls, you are always scared that when they're out there, they're wild. What if they come pregnant?
Oh,
yes.
So you don't mind us bringing babies?
Boys are better than girls. Boys can impregnate.
Impregnate,
it's also an issue there, but with girls, because you have to take care of them and the baby. So you are always worried that
now it's two.
No, you do, and you become worried because you can still raise those kids as well. But with girls it's worse because they have to carry, the child for 9 months, and it's time wasted. They should be focusing on their education, or other things, So that, time wise, that they will feel it.
Yeah, and I feel like you were like with Lebanon. I feel like Lebanon on like womanizers. Like we like dating people. Like if you think about me, like I've had 2 long-term relationships. Levels had like 17 long-term relationships. Do you prefer that? Do you prefer us to date, or do you want us to be free? Not free. It sounds like dating.
I don't understand. But Thato was in a long-term relationship.
Yeah.
And I actually thought you will be paying lobola there and there.
Yeah.
Don't cut it out.
No, we are not cutting anything out.
Yeah, I was so sure that what, and I was happy for him. By the way, yes, I was so happy that
you loved it.
I really loved the
relationship.
The choice.
The relationship.
Because my mom likes natural girls. So I think she liked the fact that they weren't long nails.
I like
she's
it.
a hater.
Yeah, I do like girls who are calm. You can see that they are humble and they are very genuine.
I must bring back a baddie one day. I must bring back a girl with long nails and a
so
weave.
I was sure that is my Makoti. I was so sure, but that's life. But
the next question was
no. Can we talk about it? But
yes,
because
Mama,
I was saying, I also said to him that to get to the right one, it doesn't just take one relationship. You have to get to more.
To get experience.
To be sure, to be 100% of what you or who do you want to marry.
At what age do you think they should start looking for either relationship, marriage, that transition?
Oh, please don't say my age.
When do you think?
For boys, I would say 27.
Okay.
And for girls, 24.
Okay.
24, 23,
to start
24,
looking,
20.
Not to,
No.
To
girls
marry.
Yes.
You know how old these guys are? And about
how old are you?
I'm 25,
26 this year.
Matari?
And I'm 24.
Then soon we must be planning to pay for lobola.
But I don't know, we can't push it to
no, because time, if you are to calculate 24, 25, having to raise children, you don't want to raise children when you are an old madala with a white beard. And so you need to, and there are certain things that you can do when you are still of a certain age with your kids. Once you get old, you are not going to be able to do them. Hey, Papa, let's go for bowling. Wena o lapile mo khalabe o tshele mosoko you understand, so while you still active as well, you need to do that, and while you still also understand the dynamics of life and be able to guide and take all those learnings and imparting them to your children.
Yeah, I'm actually so scared because I'm 27 in 2 years and
you need
I am
to get
single.
married before 30.
Oh, okay. I can do 30. I can give you 30. 30, I'll even say marriage. I'll give you 2 kids. One from the wife, one from somewhere. But I think 30.
Yeah, but from somewhere.
He's whiling again.
No, I meant 2 from the same person, just in a row. 9 months, 1 month break, 9 months.
No, you need to take care of your children, guys. This thing of having a kid there and there doesn't work.
Yeah,
so you need to make sure that in terms of planning, you do the right things.
Yeah. You don't want surprises.
No surprises there.
Ish. That's one of those things I think my mother will tell me. Just choose, marry, and then have a family.
Marry someone that you love and have kids with that someone and take care of your children. There's nothing as bad as having a child out there and you're not looking after them and some guy is taking care of you.
Not that.
Well, it happens and it's not a bad thing and it doesn't happen, on purpose. There's many reasons, but the best you can do is to take care of your children. I mean, really, you need that. And that's why most of the children, they will go all out and look for their fathers once they get old. So why not take care of your children? Don't run away from your children. We're not necessarily saying that marry the mother, but also taking care of that child is
be present.
Be present.
Yeah.
Whether you are married, or you have a partner, but taking care of your children, it's a great deal.
Matladi is in the house.
I would
guys.
like to have a question from Matladi. And I can see that he wants to ask.
Let's go, Matladi Mahani. Come in frame. Let's go, baby. 2.0, huh?
Mike. Hello, guys. What kind of questions do you have? I'm not married yet. Nah?
You have to soon.
Do I have to stand up? Thato Bergi, sorry.
Hey, wait.
Yeah, but you have notes. Mike, hello, guys. So, when you grow, you start to wonder, is marriage as important as you thought it was before you got married? Great question.
No, great question. You're coming with a good one.
No, personally, now I was married when I was 24. I didn't even have any ideas of marriage. I was not dreaming of being married. I think marriage comes when you are least prepared. People who wants to get married. Hey, I want to get married. They normally they don't get married. But those who don't even think about that, and I think it's all these things. It's God's plan, man. You don't plan to get married; it just comes. Nah, I didn't even think of getting married at that age, but it happened. I was 24. And I was just thinking that, when I finish my LLB, I'll be out there, law firm, seeing other, people. But unfortunately, I got married.
So no marriage.
Unfortunately. Yeah.
So when you get married, you must make sure. You must know.
Yeah, you must know.
But how do you know?
When do you know?
It's not about the looks. It's not about the height. It's about what you get from your partner in terms of, the intellectual capacity, the vision that you share together. When you see that you have a common vision, then you know that this one is the right one. And you know how you see that it's from the conversations. You know, when you have a conversation with your person, you know, you can have endless conversations. Not conversations. You can have endless, like, conversation. It will go on and on. And you then, the next day, you ask yourself, but how did I get, you know, just to talk to this person, you know, just talking. Then you know that, this is the person.
When you don't even feel time.
Then you realize that, you know, I've been talking to this person from 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock. You know, can I just give you an example?
Yeah.
When I met my husband, we were Papa Thato. Yeah, we were in a party. Yes, but it was not even about grooving. Believe you in me. We just spent time outside the party, you know, in a balcony outside the house. The party was going on in a house. We spoke. We were just friends. We spoke from, I don't know, for 10, I don't know how many hours.
No,
it was not charming. It's not about charming. You know, you talk about general issues, but then you realize that, you know, I can connect with this person. And we share, you know, it means whatever that I'm saying, he's interested in what I'm saying. And I was also interested in what he was saying. Yeah. And that's when you realize that, no, man, you know, I can click with this person. That's why I'm saying looks, they don't count. The height don't count.
Okay, it's more like a friendship. It feels like a friendship.
Yeah. And that's how it must start. You know, it starts as a friendship, then it gets elevated, and gradually you know that this is the one.
Hey, maybe one day.
I haven't found a friend.
But if you are with your partner, you know, your girlfriend, and you start to talk, and you no so like I'm we're now busy. Sorry, waiting if I can start a business. If I can do 1, 2, 3, and on that waiting lorile.
That's a lot of it. Okay. That's a good answer.
I feel like there's so much pressure because of that. Like, someone who can relate on that level. Anything and everything.
Yeah.
The conversations nowadays are very...
You don't know.
What are you talking about? Nowadays?
Champagne. Banana ka Bali, banana plan.
But I have one more question. And my questions are important.
Yes.
I found the marriage one.
Okay.
So now it comes to parenting. I got one. This is the Thato from 2015, 2017. I met level 2019. Your sister. So it seems you've done very well.
Thank you.
But then I know there were challenges.
Yeah.
I won't get in the challenges. What's the one thing you wish you could change? Go from any time. From the time that was
questions. No.
That's a difficult question.
I want. Okay, let me make it easy.
Make it easy.
If you can go back in time, any point in time, before Thato or after Thato, what's the one thing you could have done to prepare better
for
Banamaha?
I think I do have an answer. My children are very spoiled.
Speak about it.
They are. You know, I'm no longer staying with them now. Thato and Lebu. We do have a house here. I won't mention where. We come and visit. And you look around and you're like, Mara Batumba Mudim. And when I look back, I'm like, you know, Batum, this thing of having Bo auntie is so wrong.
Yeah.
Because when they grew up, they always had helpers. And, you know, the helper will do everything and anything else for them. So now they are grown-ups. They are so unable to take care of themselves. And that's the whole truth.
Yeah.
You know, small things like di rakanyana, di mekolokolo, di tiye, di tsulugile. They can't even wipe. And I mean, machila mo di entrancing di plastic bag.
Wait, mama, o ha bona selo sa shile na go tsama. A re ke shile mo.
Ke se krea mo. Mara, it's because of how, you know, we always took care of them. And now it's difficult to instill that thing into them to say, bana baka, di kotlo di nyako tlatsuiwa, di bathroom di bata di nyako iriwa, go bona machila mo tlosa. Why one? So if ne ke ka tlokulla wa chele ka isa ko morago, I would say no auntie, no helper. Let them do everything on their own.
It's a bit challenging because I assume as Motswadi, you want to make the lives of your kids a little bit easier. So when I know when you have, let's say you have 10 rooms in a house, you can't possibly expect
Why?
It's a big house.
No,
there's not enough time.
They should be able to.
All kids have
I mean, they have to. They have to be able to assist with all the chores in the house. I mean, anything. And rona here gola ne re tsoga fru gore
You were telling me Kuku's son was used to do everything for you.
No.
You told me.
No.
You even said.
I mean, look at Malome. I've got a brother. Yeah, he can do everything.
Yeah. Oh, that's the only thing. That's decent. You didn't do bad. That's her fault. Okay. That I only had 2 questions.
Those are good questions.
Any comments?
We enjoyed your questions.
Thank you. Yeah.
You want to close the show?
Hey, he wants to close the show. Put juice come off.
Yeah. No. That was dope. Big shout out to Mamzo. Mama, thank you so much for pulling through. Thank you for saying yes. Many parents wouldn't do this.
And being so open about
especially me.
Yeah, I think she said no 17 times today.
Is it?
She only agreed 20. Only agreed when she saw
1
Lucas. She saw Lucas and she's like, damn it. Let me just do it. But yeah, guys, the purpose of this conversation was to show you guys a different perspective from an actual mother.
Yeah.
Also prepare you guys for motherhood and just help you guys understand why maybe you didn't like your upbringing. Like, I think one thing that she said that I really liked is the fact that when they were growing up in their time, they didn't have communication like that with their parents. They didn't have all the things that we earn for now.
Yeah.
So I think when you have your parents, just try and understand that like they were also raised and they were raised a certain way. So as much as they have to give you a safe space to communicate and talk, also you should also make an effort, even if it's going to take a lot of years. Yeah. Make an effort to create that safe space too.
Meet them halfway.
Meet them halfway.
It takes 2 to tango.
She will say it takes 2 to tango.
No, but Raloboa for being here, for answering our questions as hard as they may be. But I think a lot of people are going to get a lot of value from this.
Because
a lot of people want to ask their parents these questions. So getting this perspective from Mama, it's the same.
And being open.
What should they call you? Because they're going to be commenting. What should they call you?
Why must they call me?
Mama Thato.
Mama Thato.
Mama Thato. That was Mama Thato signing off, guys. If you guys enjoyed this podcast, please like, subscribe, do all that good stuff. And if you want to give us 2 stars, give us 5 stars, but then comment on why you want to give us 2 stars. I love you guys. Shoot.
Bye-bye.